My little brother, he was mini sticking around. I came full speed and checked him, and he went flying backwards. And he had to go to the hospital on Christmas Day because I leveled him so bad. And he had to get stitches across his chin. So Christmas was always a present.
Welcome to Dudes on Dudes. I'm Julian Edelman.
I'm Roberto Gronkowski.
And this is the show where your favorite dudes get to talk about their favorite dudes. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah.
To celebrate the holidays, we're going to look back on some of our best moments on the mic together. Good times in the nut house. The time we got in trouble with Coach Belichick.
Acting like drunk idiots at Figawi. Of course we are. We're young and dumb.
Or maybe the time Rob fell asleep during the Patriots draft meeting.
You know, Jules, so sometimes you just got to take a little nap. Oh, what about when I bought a hot tub in college?
How many times you cleaned that bad boy? You didn't clean that thing once.
No.
And there's a whole lot more. So let's get into it.
Let's go.
Double in sync, let's go.
Dudes on Dudes is a production of iHeartRadio. As a kid, I always wanted a mini bike, and my dad surprised me with a mini bike. You want to know how he did it?
How?
Good. I knew you wanted to know how.
How'd he do it?
That's why I love you, buddy, because you want to know all about my stories. But so I go downstairs, I sneak peek. I get up early, 5 a.m. I go down there and I'm looking all over, feeling the presents, lifting up the big presents as well. Like there's usually a blanket over the big presents, seeing what I got. I wanted a mini bike, mini bikes with the engines. And there was no mini bike, So I went back to bed. I was like, oh, whatever. I was a little disappointed. So I wake up at 8 a.m. then, go down, open up all the presents. And then my dad was like, yo, Rob, go grab me a Snapple in the garage. I was like, oh, okay, no problem, Dad. I go in and I open up the garage door. I walk down the stairs and boom, there's a mini bike right
oh my
front
God.
of the fridge. And I was like, oh, best memory ever, best Christmas ever. Oh, I loved it so much. My brothers loved the mini bike as well. Oh, it was called the Little Brute. We still have it. Brum, 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 brum. What was your favorite Hanukkah memory?
I love I'm creating new Hanukkah traditions with my daughter. That's been very fun because she does both. I did both as a kid. But I was just hearing your story, and my dad did the same fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were roping all our presents, and at the end, I wanted some 3-piece cranks for my bike. It was like, I don't know why, it was some bike thing, and didn't have them. And my dad said, go get your laundry out of the dryer. And I go out there, and the cranks are in the dryer, and the same soppy story. What's up with dads doing that? Because I did that with my daughter with a puppy. You'll probably end up doing that to your kid. It's so fun to get to see your kids like
surprised, and then
genuinely surprised,
and then how happy they are. I guess that makes you happy as a parent.
Yeah.
I mean, I just have a doggy, and it makes me happy when my dog gets surprised with just a toy that I bought him.
Yeah. Same thing with a kid, but a kid.
And then also what's really cool about Christmas was, like, as a kid, we would play mini sticks in the basement the whole entire day after we opened up presents. And one time, it's actually on film, I think it's on the internet, is that my little brother, he was mini sticking around. I came full speed and checked him, and he went flying backwards, and he actually, like, the stick came up and hit him across the chin, or he went like to the side and his chin hit the ground. I fully can't remember it, but it is on film. And he had to go to the hospital on Christmas Day because I leveled him so bad and he had to get stitches across his chin. So that's why I am who I am. And that's why I'm a tough SOB, because I was getting beat up on, and then I was beating up on my little brother. So I always took the hits, and I knew how to give the hits because of my brothers. Christmas was always a present.
So who was it, Glenn?
It was Glenn, who got the Super Bowl ring with us when we beat the Atlanta Falcons.
The one younger one.
Yeah.
The only younger Gronk.
Mm-hmm. He went to the hospital.
He was getting beat up by two brothers. And so he would beat up on little Glenn.
Exactly.
Man. Hanukkah, Christmas, that time of the year, when you're an athlete for like the last 15 years of our career or whatever, you didn't really, it was always like postponed, or, it was on a different day because you'd have work on practice. But I tell you, some of those holiday practices, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Hanukkah, whatever it is, like those were some of the funnest practices because you knew you just had practice, and then after that you had the rest of the day. Do you remember those?
I do, man. I mean, it kind of sucked when you were playing a sport because, like, you really couldn't see your family, your friends, all that good stuff. You had to sacrifice, either with practice or actually playing on the road for a game, which was always fun. But having that practice that day was always the most joyous practice. Like you said, there was no meetings. There's no
meetings.
lift after the practice.
Everyone was in a good mood.
Everyone was. Even the coaches were all in a good mood.
Had a little jingle in their step.
Those
were fun.
Oh, man.
Are you ready to get back into some of our other best moments?
Yeah, let's do it. Oh, Figawi. Oh, what a memory from what I remember.
What a memory from what we remember.
But who could forget the time we had a little bit too much fun at Figawi?
We were both
Coach Belichick found out about it.
Barstool.
Oopsies.
Roll it out. Let's
Roll
go.
the tape. Roll the tape.
People always think that like you still just go out and party.
No.
Gronk never drinks.
I mean, I
anymore.
love to have a great time, no doubt about it. I mean, dude, we partied so hard back in the day, though, too. Like, remember us on that golf cart in Nantucket?
Well, Figawi.
Figawi weekend.
We got in so much trouble though for that because
yes,
you had a surgery.
I think it was my forearm.
And was it? And then I had a foot.
Yes,
we were both getting pulled. We were in the back of we were in the
back of a golf cart, and people were filming us. And then we weighed so much, and I think the people in the front got off the golf cart. And when they got off, the golf cart, the front two wheels went up in the air, and we fell right onto the ground and like face planted. And the crazy thing about it is we had no clue that we even did that until we saw the video on Barstool 4 days later. And the caption of Barstool was, "Not really sure we want our star wide receiver and tight end acting like this in Figawi, but we love them for it."
Yeah.
And I was like, that's why I love Barstool. They're sticking up for us.
Bro, you remember how mad Bill was?
Oh, man.
You fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Can you guys just stay out of the headlines? You guys are hurt.
Headlines. Yeah. You guys aren't even practicing right now. You can't even go on the field and you're acting like drunk idiots at Figawi. Of course we are. We're young and dumb. I would not change a thing, bro. Imagine if we didn't do that now and we try to do it now, it would be hard to do it now. We did it when we could.
Yeah.
That's the best part about it. We did it when we could.
That was such a fun trip. That Figawi
Fun
trip.
Did you pull it up? Do you have that? It's online somewhere, dude. Let's look at it. Dang, look how young we look in all these videos.
Ty, thanks for watching The Fumble. You know your Memorial Day weekend was lit when Justin Timberlake tweets you to compliment on your dance moves. Yeah, I'm talking about Gronk. He spent the weekend with Julian Edelman partying in Nantucket. Here's a glimpse into their weekend. Edelman let us know exactly.
Oh, that's Tom's butt. I thought it was mine. Jealous of Tom.
He later took a beer and poured it all over
Look at
Gronk's
us,
head.
dude. We were
Gronk didn't
maniacs.
enjoy it.
You're pouring a
Gronk
beer on my head.
stumbles over a metal barrier
I'm
and
front
was
row of the
hitting
concert.
Gronk made Patriots fans a little nervous when he attempted to do the splits and crawl on the floor at the same time.
This was 2 months before training camp. Bill, we're training.
Edelman and
We're
Gronk
stretching.
fell over. Their entire Pat season flashed before their eyes.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, dude.
Here it is. Oh, that's what happened. Oh, that's what happened.
But no worries, they were okay enough to dance to Justin Timberlake on stage later that night, which is what
Was
prompted
there?
Justin
I don't remember him being there.
Yeah.
That's the Gronk move right there.
Yeah. Oh, dude, we used to dance our face off. I swear that made us better players, though, because we were doing so many different type of
Calisthenics.
movements. Yes.
Calisthenics.
It was our cardio. We were dancing for 4 hours straight, and we burned off all the alcohol while we were dancing, too. That's why we were always ready to go when we showed up.
Good times, Jules. Good times. It was totally well worth it. And we got to get back there next year. And this time we should actually take Coach with us and show him how it's done and show him why it's such a great time doing those silly things that we were doing.
Oh, my. I bet you Coach is going to be at Doesn't he has a Nantucket spot? He'll probably be out there.
I think that video actually...
He'll be out. You know, he's going to be there this year. Maybe we go check him out at Figawi this year, Rob. That was so much fun, and we got yelled at so much because of the fun we had. Maybe we'll bump into Mr. Fun himself at Figawi.
Mr. Fun himself.
Mr. Fun.
Oh, wait a second. Oh, I bet you deep down, Mr. Fun was probably inspired by us with that video that he went out and bought that house in Nantucket.
He probably bought that house
Because of us, because of that
I
video.
think he's been there for years.
I don't
He's
care.
been there
He was
for-
inspired.
Joker was there a lot longer before we
I
were.
don't care. We're just going to pretend he was inspired by us.
Every legend has a legendary story origin. And old Robbie boy took us through the pre-draft visit. That was the funniest, craziest, most memorable visit of all time. Rob, were you sleeping or not sleeping?
Oh, I was sleeping. I was 100% sleeping. Coach Belichick actually talked about it on air.
I think he talked about it on air. Let's take a look at it.
I was so sick of that visit, dude. It wasn't just a visit.
Weren't you sleeping?
Just wasn't the visit to the Patriots. So what? I went on like a little tour. Like you go and I visited 12 different teams. It's kind of like you're going on these recruiting visits to each team because they want to get to know you. And
Yeah.
the New England Patriots were the last ones on the list. And bro, I was sick. I was flying from Denver to Jacksonville to freaking Baltimore, meeting with every team, and I was so sick of it. And you know, you're putting like kind of a front on as well. And I was literally so sick of it. I go, I want to be outrageous here. I need to have some fun with it. I remember I was kind of hungover too, feeling like crap. All these flights. I went out and partied a couple of the nights too, so I wasn't even feeling like myself. So I was like, how do you get back to normal? You just become outrageous. And I show up, bro. I was so tired. First thing I do is fall asleep in Nancy's office. Yeah, Bill Belichick heard all about it. He couldn't believe it. And then I go into the interview session, and Billy O'Brien draws the play up, and then he erases on the board. He's like, all right, can you name what the wide receivers did, like rename their route and what their responsibility was? I was like, bro, I have no clue. I couldn't even think. And then he's like, what do you do? I was like, you just throw me the fucking ball, Billy. I'll make some guys miss. I'll run over some people. He's like, but you don't know the play. I was like, I don't need to know the play. You throw me the ball. Like, that's basically how our interview went. And then I literally walked out of there, called Drew Rosenhaus. I said, this team is either going to take me or they're fucking laughing at me. And I give no fucks because I'm over this whole process. So what happens? New England Patriots trade up for me for the 42nd pick in the NFL draft in 2010 and select me. And I looked around the table. I said, I told you they were going to take me.
But Billy O, so going back to where we started, that is Gronk.
Yes.
Right there. That whole thing. And they built up, like, I remember them talking about you, the coaches, saying, like, yeah, man, you're going to love this kid. He's fucking just awesome. He had, like, they explained the whole thing that you just explained. And, like, that was like, oh, my God, what? Like, that doesn't happen in New England. You know what I mean? And Gronk kind of, from your little story right there, you can kind of portray that you're not a smart football player, like, but you were, like, brilliant. Like, they would explain that, like, don't think that Gronk didn't know his fucking plays. This guy, you coached him once on one thing, he never had to say it again. Like, he was, like, one of the most football intelligent guys I knew.
Yes. I mean, at that time when I was doing the interview, I was beat down. I was sick of it, so I couldn't really recall, you know, the play after he showed it to me. And then also, I did struggle a little bit, though, my rookie year with the playbook. I actually would have probably started every single game from the beginning. My first 8 games, I only was playing about 15 to 20 plays a game, if you can recall that. And then finally, boom, the playbook hit. I mean, it was a tough playbook. I mean, in college, I literally think I had like 15 plays, and I lined up in the same spot every single play. And I get to New England, and man, let me tell you, that playbook was outrageous.
And it's not just the playbook;
Yes.
it's the personnel groups. You're playing Y, you're playing F.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's wheels. You guys got to flop. Like it was definitely tough.
It was definitely a challenge.
And the fucking formations. There's so many goddamn formations.
It drove me crazy. Like I said, in college, I had one formation. I lined up in the same spot every single play. I'm not lying. Every single play I get to New England, 65 different formations?
Yeah.
Actually, probably 150 different formations, but then we narrowed it down to about 65. Dude, my head was spinning all over the place. And finally, it just clicked, you know, once I got it under control. About week 10, remember I scored that touchdown versus the Chicago Bears versus Brian Urlacher?
Oh, yeah.
What was that, Panther route, where I had to just get big right at the goal line, and then Tom was going to throw it low. And then we hit it in practice that Friday. Then we hit it in the game that Sunday, and since then, I was starting every single play.
You know, Jules, so sometimes you just got to take a little nap. I was just resting my eyes, making sure that my brain was firing on all cylinders. So then when I went and got tested on the playbook, that I was firing and I could remember everything that was going on. Because like they said, a power nap, a 20-minute power nap can get you to where you need to be. But let me tell you, that was also my 17th visit in like 4 days. I was all over the United States doing pre-job interviews for all these teams. And let me tell you, I was sick of it. I was over it. I was like, I don't even want to get drafted anymore if I got to go through all these draft processes. Just watch my film. So I was like, I'm going to go be as crazy as I possibly can be because it's my last visit to New England Patriots. And I left that building. I said, they either love me or they just crossed me off their list. But they love me, baby.
They loved you.
They love me. And now New England loves me. And Bill still loves me. He sends me love notes.
A good old story from Nut House East episode.
Oh, I think here's the story of the first time I met Tom Brady.
All right. Here it is. What's your favorite Tom memory?
My favorite Tom memory, man. I'll always remember the time when I first met him in the locker room. You brought it up during your speech. He just came up to me. I was getting my ankle taped by Jimbo, the great Jim Wallen. Right, Jim Wallen? Wallen. It's been a while, Jim, man. I just called you Jimbo for so long. I'm forgetting your last name a little bit.
No, you got it.
All right, good. I got it, though. And he was taping my ankles, and Tom just came cruising by, you know. I was just a good old rookie, and he just walked up to me, and he goes, hey, I'm Tom Brady. And I go, very nice to meet you, Tom Brady. I'm Rob Gronkowski. And then he's like, let's get after it this year. And then he walked away, and I just was like, shook. I was like, man, Tom Brady just came up to me and introduced himself as Tom Brady. Like, of course, I know who you are, Tom Brady's. But that was just one of the coolest moments I would remember, you know, for the rest of my life. And we just, you know, got to work from there on out. And he was all business right from the beginning. He really was. Like we said, what he puts on, his persona, what he shows,
that's what
truly
he is.
Believes in. And he was all business 24/7 when he was in that building.
What was your favorite moment, too, while we're at it?
My favorite moments were the ones where, like, we'd be throwing routes or something, and, like, he would yell at me or something. Like, I remember my rookie year, we put in a 4-wide personnel group the first day of rookie or the first day of veteran camp. And so it was me, Wes, Joey Galloway, and Randy. And we put it in there. And I was the Y. And I did the right thing. And I ended up dropping the ball. And he starts just yelling at me. Jules, what the fuck? And I like, oh, snap. And then as soon as we got in the locker room, he came up to me. He goes, hey, you know, if I yell at you, that means I like you. And I was like, well, you know, you must really love me then, bro. You know what I mean? You know, that was kind of like those moments where, you know, he was getting on you. That's the stuff you remember you like, or, you know, the stuff when we'd be training out and thrown on a field or something. Those are always the great memories that you'll remember. Yeah, it's the big plays of that and the other, but I think it's the behind the scenes stuff was my favorite.
I would have to agree with you, man. If he gets on you, he sees potential in you, and that's why he got on your ass all the time. He got on my ass all the time my rookie year. I didn't really like him my rookie year. I mean, he was just getting on my case just nonstop, and it was kind of mind fucking me so much that I couldn't be myself out there sometimes. I couldn't run the right route because I was just thinking so much, because there was just so much on the plate at first. I got a coach telling me to do this. I got Tom telling me to do this. And then finally you just figure it out and it all clicks. It took me about halfway through my rookie year, and then obviously going in my second year, it clicked to a whole nother level. I mean, we went for 21 touchdowns total, including the playoffs. But just my rookie year, he was on my case. I remember I ran a flag route and I ran inside the guy instead of getting outside of him. And he flipped out on me in the meeting after the practice and told me he's never going to throw me the ball again. And like, I got butthurt, and LG Crumpler saw it too. And then he just tapped on my thigh and he was like, yo, Gronk, don't worry about that. Tom's just being Tom, man. Just don't worry about keep doing you. And then it kind of like, you know, put a fire under your ass though. And that's what Tom was so great at doing. I didn't really realize that's what he was doing either. Like, he was just trying to get the best out of you. And it kind of lit a fire, you know, under my ass. And then I just wanted to prove Tom wrong. Like, all right, I'm going to run this flag route every time now, and you're never going to throw me the ball, but I'm going to be open by 5 yards, and you're going to look like the idiot now. And that happened, and then he threw me the ball about 600 more times from there on out.
So that was also, that example is an example of why Tom was Tom, because he knew what kind of guy each guy was. Like, he could challenge Rob. He could challenge me because we retaliated to that challenging, like, in a whole nother, like, that was the way it got us going. You know, other guys he didn't do that with, and he would do it in a different way. You know, then that's the sign of a good leader, is when someone knows what to get out of the guys and how to get it out of them.
And I've seen this before. Coach Belichick and Tom challenging wide receivers, and they don't step up to the plate after the challenge. And let me tell you, those wide receivers or tight ends were gone the next week. So, hey, if you don't step up to the challenge, you know, you're gone. That's why I love football. That's why I love sports, because there ain't no politics here, buddy. It's either you got it or you don't.
Swink or swim.
Tom is so nice.
Always
So humble.
wanted to make him so proud.
I know, dude. So proud that, like, the first time that you catch a football from him, you just want to make sure you catch that football.
You just want to make him proud.
You do. And then from there on out, you want to catch that football again just to make him proud and to just gain that trust in him.
Without a doubt. And shout out to Jimmy O. Whalen.
Jim Whalen, without you running the training room, I would have never met Tom Brady, because you taped my ankles, and that's when Tom Brady walked by and introduced himself. So thank you, Jim Whalen. You are a great guy.
Oh, Jimmy from Somerville. Hey, everyone. Julian Edelman here. There's no better time to enjoy live events. I've had my eyes on NFL playoff tickets, and there's always Bruins and Celtics games for when you're itching to get out of the house and catch some action. That's why I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's show, SeatGeek. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. They've got more than 70,000 events listed, from concerts and sports to festivals and more. You name it, they've got it. The best part? SeatGeek has your back. Every ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. Just look at the green dots. Green means good, and red means bad. And every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee, so you're set. And you know I came through for you guys. You can use DUDES10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with promo code DUDES10. Make sure to click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you, SeatGeek. I'll see you out there.
Wow. Well, Jules, everybody always wants to know what it's like at halftime of an NFL game.
Well, here you go. Take a look. I felt like good coaching, like a real good coach gives you information that helps you. Okay, you know, we're all professionals in the locker room. We don't need a rah-rah guy. That should come probably from like a leader. That usually came from like, you know, one of the players. But when you know, at least in our locker rooms, halftimes are always professional. Like, this is what we've seen. These are the 5 plays that we're going to lean on because we saw we got good tell from it, from what we did in the first half. We're getting away from this group of plays because they ain't working. They're not playing the game we thought it was. So these plays, take it out of your head. That's kind of how halftimes were in our locker room. You get 4 minutes right when you get in just to clear your mind while the coaches, they go and have their discussion. So there's a 4-minute grace period where guys are just kind of quiet and letting the emotions settle down. You know, you're kind of letting everything that just happened, you know, it's kind of like when the players are all together, then that breaks up where we go into O and D. O on one side of the locker room, D on the other side of the locker room, and you go over those plays that you think you can, you know, make better, or that you go over certain game plans, something keys that we felt we can have going into the second half. And then you come over together as a whole unit where the coach gives you his keys of what he thinks we need to do as a collective unit to succeed in the second half. That's kind of how it was for us. It wasn't like, this one's for the Gipper type shit. It was more of, all right, fellas, we ain't doing this, we need to do this, as a team, this. 30 more minutes, put your best foot forward. We all just need to play our job, do our job well, and let's go. And that's kind of how it was.
You said it right on, baby. That's how it was every week.
That's how it
didn't
was.
change. Didn't change. Regular season, playoffs, or Super Bowl. That's how it was, man.
Super Bowl was just longer.
Yeah, it was longer. And he got us prepared because in practice the week before, we would practice for an hour, and then he would take us off the field for 30
20
minutes.
Yeah.
Or 20 minutes,
whatever the
long
halftime
was. And then we would go back out to the practice field, and we were all pissed because practice would be longer then. You know what it's all about? If you can't make those in-game adjustments, you're never going to win in the game of football.
And ain't nobody do it better than Coach Belichick himself.
All right. This one is an absolute classic and a throwback to the college days, ladies and gentlemen.
100%. This is the time you spent your whole check, your scholarship check, and your brothers to go buy a freaking hot tub in college. Let's go.
It was worth it, okay?
Hey, was it worth it?
It was worth it. System already. We played Halo 24/7 on Xbox. And I was like, I don't need this Nintendo Wii. He sold it for me on Craigslist for the amount that it goes for in stores. I threw him like $50 and I had like another $200 to buy people beer.
You know what? I bet you if the NCAA knew about that, he would have got fucking fined. He would have been, not fined. What
it
were
was
you
a gift. You're allowed to sell a gift.
Are you? But that's how crazy.
I mean, I sold it like 2 months
You're
after.
out here selling Wii's, and you go to a college player's the players lot now. All you see is Lamborghinis, these little fucking college kids. It's crazy. Rob's over here trying to get $50 from a Craigslist. All I
needed was $15 a week, and I was satisfied. It got the job done.
What did it get you?
It got me a 30-pack, and it got me lunch. That's all I needed. Folks.
Protein shake and a 30-pack.
Protein shakes and beers.
Now, did you just get the protein shakes back at the facility?
Well, actually, yeah. I got the protein shakes at the facility and a dinner, which I would bring back as well. We would stack up the to-goes, so then we would have kind of like an extra lunch or a dinner that night, the next night as well, just in case if we needed some backup food. Beers and the food, but dang, I forgot. Now I know why I had no money. That's where I was going. I had no money in college because my brother and we put all our money together. I was left in our bank account. We bought a hot tub the first 3 weeks we were at the University of Arizona. Literally, we drained our bank accounts. They were at $0. Yep. Yeah, that's us. Yeah. The guy, back to Fred Warner. The guy, 2021, he had a record-breaking contract, 5 years, $95 million. He reset the linebacker market. So all you other linebackers out there, thank Fred Warner. $40.5 million guaranteed. The guy was a superstar. What was his first purchase? I'm not sure. I feel like he's a reserved, guy, and people should be looking up to him for sure. Off the field and on the field.
You don't even see no
What was
bling.
my first purchase? That's a good question.
What was your first, when you got your first payday, or when you got drafted, what was your first purchase?
My first purchase, I've always wanted an Escalade. So I actually bought a used 2008 Escalade, and it had 30,000 miles on it, and it was the red one, and I just thought I was so freaking cool, man. It had the rims, it had everything. It was the best car of all time I've ever had. So I got to get an Escalade again, man. It's been a while. That was my only Escalade I've ever owned. I had it for about 4 years, and then I gave it to my mom because I'm a good guy like that, But great car, man. That was my first purchase. How about you, Jules? What was yours?
I bought a laptop.
That's
My signing bonus was 48.5, bro. I didn't think I was going to make the team. I bought a fucking Apple laptop, like one of the new Macs. I still have it.
You were getting ready for your next job, actually. When you bought it, you were like, I'm not going to make this team.
I didn't know.
Let me start. Maybe I'll be an accountant.
Randy Moss, Wes Welker, Joey Galloway traded for Greg Lewis.
You defied the odds, Jules.
Just get a laptop. How many times you clean that bad boy?
All right, we can get into that.
You didn't clean that thing once.
No.
Oh.
We actually had to drain it a few times because the water got so nasty and dirty.
But so we didn't really clean it. We just drained it every once in a while after
disgusting.
Saturday nights. I mean, Sunday mornings, but man, it was worth it. It was worth it. All right. We all know one Brady story wasn't enough.
Well, here's Rob's favorite on-field memory with old TB12. What's your favorite Tom memory?
My favorite Tom memory is actually, this is one of my favorite memories of all time. You know, when we were playing the Indianapolis Colts and I ran that 5-yard out route, caught it versus Dequel Jackson. I did a little spin move. He kind of fell, did a little split. It was like very great route by me and great after the catch too. And then I'm running, you know, I'm going, there's a couple other guys and here comes Julian Edelman. Kaboom! Just absolutely levels Adams, the safety, you know, gets him out of my way. I'm like, thanks Jules for the block, you know.
You jumped
and then I'm running into the end zone. I jump over Butler.
Yeah. DB.
Yeah, DB. What's his first name again?
Darius.
Darius Butler, who was previously on the Patriots, and then he went to the Colts.
Yeah.
And now he's doing a great job in the media. Yeah,
kills it.
McAfee show. He's doing a great job. So shout out to Darius Butler. But I jumped over his ass. Made me look good. Flipped into the end zone. I looked like an athletic 180-pound wide receiver. And then this was the moment, one of my favorite moments with him. Tom loved the route, loved the catch, loved your block. He was so pumped up. He ran full speed from the 30-yard line, and probably because I got him a touchdown on a play where it never should have been a touchdown.
Yeah.
And he came running full speed and jumped on my back and went for a ride, man. He was like a pony on a horse, man. I brought him for a ride, man. I was carrying Tom Brady around in the freaking end zone. He was
Pony on
my
a horse,
back.
baby.
He was on my back.
Put the pony on the horse's
And I brought him
back.
for a ride. I was waiting for him to drop that quarter in so the ride can keep on going. Yes. I didn't want him to get off. I was like, Tom Brady's on my back. Like what else do I need in my life?
Oh my God.
Yeah, and it's one of my favorite pitchers to sign to this day as well. I don't think he ever signed it. It cost like $5 billion to get him to sign a pitcher. So like I always sign the pitcher of him on my back. And like I'm waiting for that pitcher to be worth a lot more money once he signs it but he hasn't signed it yet.
Man, that was a fucking fun play.
That was a fun play. Thank you for that block. Oh, you leveled it.
Adams.
He's
talking in the...
a good safety too.
We
was
used to
tough.
battle. He was with Denver a bunch.
He battled us a lot, man.
A lot.
He brought it too, and he wasn't scared.
He was good.
Yeah,
He was
there
good
it
for-
is. There's the picture right there.
There
Oh,
it
wait,
is.
it's signed. There it is, man. He's going for a ride. I'm still waiting for those quarters, Tom.
Oh my gosh.
There's Tim Wright right in the back too. We won the Super Bowl this year, didn't we? Yeah,
that
we won the Super
14?
Bowl this year. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was. Who-Man was a tight end as well in the team. We had Tim Wright and Who-Man. Oh, I love Who-Man. All right, what was your favorite memory, Jules?
My favorite memory was when it kind of that 14 when we hit that route. He came up to me afterwards and he goes, "That was a championship route, man." And like it was just nothing crazy.
That's special.
And he goes, "That was a championship play, man." And
You're
then
making
we
me
didn't
wanna-
win the game yet.
You're making me want to tear right now
No,
because him saying that's a championship route, that's a championship play, that means a lot.
Yeah, and then afterwards when we won, like that was when he got 4, and I just remember there were so many memories of him, like you said, always having the ticker of the Super Bowl location and the whole story where I said, "Man, I'm gonna help you try to get to Joe," and because we were both Bay Area fans, loved Joe Montana, and I told him he was the greatest quarterback of all time, and that was just a fun memory. There's so many. It's hard to fucking do one. What kind of?
All right. I mean,
I'm gonna start crying.
I know. Me too.
A pony on a horse, Rob.
Jules, I think we should trademark that line.
Let's make a T-shirt. Did you ever get that quarter?
No, Tom's cheap.
Here's old Rob and I reminiscing about the great fans that we got to play in front of over in New England.
The best fans in the world. Foxboro forever.
That was a great city to play for.
Dude,
That was the best. If you got to think about it, like as far as being a pro sport town, like we went to fucking We watched the Red Sox win a World Series. We watched the Bruins win a World Cup or a championship. I was there early when the Celtics did it in 2010 or 9, 8. It was 2008, right? When they got it?
Yep.
I went to those games.
Bro, I would not change a thing, man. It was the best times of our life. And the best part about it, the whole city of Boston, the whole area of New England, hands down the best sports town in, I would say, the whole world. I played in Tampa. You know, we went on the road to play in other cities. I've been, you know, in Europe to go to the soccer games and stuff. I'm telling you, hands down, New England is the best area for any pro sports team out there in America.
And the cool thing about it is it's not just Boston for us. Our team was New England. So we hit those 5 states, New Hampshire, Vermont,
yes,
Rhode Island, 6, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Maine.
some New York, a little bit, you know, some parts of New York.
I always call Connecticut half New York, half Mass.
I don't
fans.
even consider Connecticut as New England. So they say Connecticut's one of the states that are part of New England, and that just kind of throws me off.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's not. Like, that's not New England. Like,
But you get, it's weird. You'll have some, it's really fucking crazy. In Connecticut, you get a lot of these people that are like Patriots fans and like Yankee fans, you know, or you get like you'll get like a Jets and a Celtics fan, or, you know, it's fucking crazy.
mixed emotions.
They're the best fans in the world, best sports fans in the world. Foxboro forever, but Jules, you live in LA now, man. I live in Foxboro. I'm Foxboro forever.
Still have my place in Boston. I still go there.
That's not Foxboro.
Hey, man, New England. It's New England.
Oh.
New England.
Well, now you got 2 T-shirts. Foxboro forever, which I'll sell, and you can be New England forever.
New England forever. Well, folks, that's been another episode of Dudes on Dudes. What can we do better next time, Rob? Self-scout.
We could drink more caffeine next episode.
If we were to do
we could
that-
talk even faster than we did this time. And if we're talking this fast, we can talk about more objects and more subjects and more activities that we want to talk about, and the fans can enjoy more.
I like that self-scout. I like that. Alex would get mad at us, though, because if you drink a lot of caffeine, it kills an endorphin.
Yeah, and it also dehydrates your muscles.
Dehydrates your muscle. But happy holidays, right?
Yeah, happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New
Such
Year.
a fun time to be with your family. I hope you guys all have a great holiday.
Have the best holiday ever.
Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Comment a dude you want us to do. And remember,
Rate and review.
rate and review. Remember to follow Dudes on YouTube, Instagram, X, TikTok, and Snapchat. We'll see you guys next week.
Dudes on Dudes is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
That's the best one.